guest is literally a star from the New York Post. He just wrote a book called Shatner, about William Shatner, another one of my favorite guests. Please welcome Michael Starr. The kitchen table's not out in front.
Yeah, last time that was where I was.
I threw you for a loop. Yeah. I'm sorry. How are you, my friend? You look very handsome.
Thank you.
Does he look spiffy?
It's makeup.
So, William Shatner has visited with us many, many times here at our show, and I find him a fascinating character. But why did you choose him to literally write an entire book on?
You know, he's such an icon, not only in this country, but worldwide. And I think he means different things to different people. Some people of a certain generation think William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Of course.
Maybe Denny Crane, Boston Legal. He won 2 Emmys for that. Or Priceline. Or the guy who sings weird songs on The Tonight Show, or spoken word albums.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why he's so fascinating.
He's done so much, and he's 88 years old. He's still going.
Can you believe he's 88 years old?
He just doesn't slow down.
And he's very self-deprecating, too.
He is.
He is. Even in a commercial, he will have fun making fun of himself.
Yeah, and he's gone on to many shows where, they've imitated the way he talks.
I know.
And he's really into it.
A ribbing, right?
Yeah,
really well. Really well.
He's a good sport about it.
So, is it authorized or unauthorized? Did he participate?
He did not. It's unauthorized.
Did you try?
I did. I reached out, and I was told he was because he's such a busy guy, he didn't have time to talk to me, which is fine. I get it. I mean,
did you send him a galley?
I did not. No. No, we'll wait till
Jojo, my producer, said that he tried to unfriend you, or he unliked you or something on social media.
He's blocked me on Twitter on a couple different accounts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it happens. Again.
No, lighten up. He's such a nice man.
I can't use the hashtag William Shatner, but I can't use @William Shatner, but I can do hashtag William Shatner and get him that way. So.
And there's a whole book of devotion to you.
It's a lot
Maybe he'll come around.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice pictures in there from when he was a young performer and a young man. He grew up in Montreal, Canada, and
I love Montreal. I live closer to Montreal than New York City, so I feel like it's kind of a little home away from home for me.
And he was a big star in Canada in the 50s before he came to Hollywood, and it's all in the book. It's all recounted about his career as a Shakespearean actor. And
I think I was just going to say, I think people forget that he was actually classically trained.
He was trained, yes.
He was a classically trained, very serious actor, even though he seems kind of like a funny character. He's a well-trained actor. So were there certain myths? Like, that's a fun thing to share with people, but there's also a lot of myths and stories about him. Do you go down that road at all? Were you trying to debunk certain things?
Yes, I think that if you want to call it a myth, is that he just came out of nowhere with Star Trek. I mean, as we just alluded to, he had an entire career, not only in Canada on the stage and in TV and on Canadian radio when he was a kid, but he had a career in Hollywood. But it didn't really, I don't think it propelled his career forward as he thought it would. So he came back to New York. He was doing a lot of live TV. He was on the stage in New York in 2 Broadway shows called The Shot in the Dark with Walter Matthau and The World of Susie Wong. And they were very well received.
Those were big shows.
They were big Broadway shows. That in turn sort of led to his career in TV, and then it's all in the book. It eventually led to Star Trek. Now, he was not the original star of the show. There was a man named Jeffrey Hunter.
That I did not know.
They filmed us.
And he's come here so many times. I had no clue. He wasn't the original choice for Captain Kirk?
No, there was an actor named Jeffrey Hunter who's, for the first pilot, his name was not Kirk, it was Christopher Pike. And NBC filmed the Star Trek pilot, and it just didn't quite gel.
It didn't register,
It just didn't register, and then, so they didn't renew his contract to come back, Jeffrey Hunter's contract, and they reached out to William Shatner, who was free. He had just done a CBS series called For the People, which had just been canceled. And somebody said, I know this guy Shatner, he'd be perfect for it, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. He became James Tiberius Kirk.
That's right.
Have you started your work on your next book? Do you know who you're going to do next?
I don't. I have some ideas. I would love to do Farrah Fawcett because I think she's such an icon.
Oh, what a great choice.
Yeah.
And another great icon. And boy, someone who's been through so much.
Yeah, and died way too young.
Oh, gosh.
And, David Cassidy, another icon from the 70s.
That's another great one.
These are all...
This is a really good list, man. You got to go home and get to work.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see you,
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited about this book, and I'm sure there's a ton of fans of someone whose career has lasted so many decades. I can't believe he's 88, but if you think about it and you learn just some of that backstory, you can see this is really like reading about several lifetimes in one. Yeah.
Different careers, different lifetimes.
Such a cool journey.
Yeah.
So Shatner's going to be in stores at the end of December. Make sure to pick up your copy. You can pre-order it, of course, on Amazon. We'll see you when we see everybody. Bye-bye.